What's up, YouTube? It's Alicia here. I fucking hope that this whole Spotify Joe Rogan and controversy goes off so I can start talking about different things. But Joe Rogan has now addressed the controversy and the misinformation, and we're gonna check his response now. Remember to subscribe to my channel. I upload daily content here, also in TikTok and Instagram. Go check those out. And also follow me on Twitter to see what I'm doing when I'm not doing videos or streaming. Let's continue to the video itself. Joe Rogan broke his silence and decided to respond. Let's see what Joe Rogan has to say. So this is taken from Instagram.
Hello, friends. I wanted to make a video to address some of the controversy that's been going on over the past few days. And first of all, to say thank you to everyone that sent love and support. I truly, truly appreciate it. And it's been very nice to hear from you. I wanted to make this video, first of all, because I think there's a lot of people that have a distorted perception of what I do, maybe based
This is actually something new, because Joe Rogan normally doesn't address controversies or doesn't hear what other people say. So this is actually a new thing. So let's see what he has to say.
based on sound bites or based on headlines of articles that are disparaging. The podcast has been accused of spreading dangerous misinformation, specifically about 2 episodes, a little bit about some other ones, but specifically about 2. One with Dr. Peter McCullough and one with Dr. Robert Malone. Dr. Peter McCullough is a cardiologist, and he is the most published physician in his field in history. Dr. Robert Malone owns 9 patents on the creation of mRNA vaccine technology and is at least partially responsible for the creation of the technology that led to mRNA vaccines. Both these people are very highly credentialed, very intelligent, very accomplished people, and they have an opinion that's different from the mainstream narrative. I wanted to hear what their opinion is. I had them on, and because of that, those episodes in particular, those episodes were labeled as being dangerous. They had dangerous misinformation in them. The problem I have with the term misinformation, especially today, is that many of the things that we thought of as misinformation.
Okay, let's tackle that first before we go any further. Having people who are talking, opposing to the mainstream idea, the mainstream consensus, isn't inherently bad, and giving them a platform isn't inherently bad also. The reason why a lot of people are thinking they are dangerous because the audience of Joe Rogan is easily persuaded by Joe Rogan and his guests. They don't take time to check that if everything their guest is saying is in line. They are taking them as truths. So there lies the danger. Not that what they are saying is inherently dangerous, but the audience of Joe Rogan Experience is I don't want to say dumb, but they don't do their own due diligence.
And just a short while ago are now accepted as fact. Like, for instance, 8 months ago, if you said, if you get vaccinated, you can still catch COVID and you can still spread COVID, you would be removed from social media. They would ban you from certain platforms.
I don't know about that. You were called anti-vaxxer if you said that even if you take the corona vaccines, you can still spread the virus. Because there's been a lot of videos surfing around from, for example, NBC, Rachel Maddow, saying that if you get the vaccines, you're immune to the disease itself, and you can't spread the disease because the disease dies in you. That's completely false. I even said back in the day that that was completely bullshit. Yeah, there's some truth what Joe is now saying, and then it's he's exaggerating a little.
Now that's accepted as fact. If you said, I don't think cloth masks work, you would be banned from social media. Now, that's openly and repeatedly stated on CNN. If you...
Again, cloth masks work. Are they as effective we thought they were? No, but they work still.
Said, I think...
Come on, guys. You still wear fucking umbrellas, right? Water molecules are, 100 times smaller than COVID molecules.
It's possible that COVID-19 came from a lab. You'd be banned from many...
This is actually a great one. This is the best one. In 2020... Because there was a debate. Did the disease start from the Wuhan wet markets, or did it start from the Wuhan lab for virology? And back in the day, in 2020 and even 2021, if you even hinted that it started from the lab, you were labeled racist, well, basically racist, and you would be fucking thrown to the wolves. Now, I was actually talking about this with my friend the other day, well, 2 months ago actually, that I was surprised that the mainstream media is actually saying that there's a possibility it started from a lab, because that was a big no-no in 2021 and in 2020. So this is actually a great...
social media platforms. Now that's on the cover of Newsweek.
Yeah.
All of those theories that at one point in time were banned were openly discussed by those two men that I had on my podcast that have been accused of dangerous misinformation. I do not know if they're right. I don't know, because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist. I'm just a person who sits down and talks to people and has conversations with them. Do I get things wrong? Absolutely, I get things wrong, but I try to correct them. Whenever I get something wrong, I try to correct it because I'm interested in telling the truth. I'm interested.
Yeah, like, his job is to interview people. Of course, he has his own ideas and he pushes them quite a lot. But for example, let's take Ted Nugent interview. I listened to the Ted Nugent interview and I didn't want to go on a helicopter ride and just fucking minicom wild hogs in the hundreds. Did I think what Ted Nugent said was really fucking cool? Yeah, but I'm not going there like randomly killing animals.
Interested in finding out what the truth is, and I'm interested in having interesting conversations with people that have differing opinions. I'm not interested in only talking to people that have one perspective. That's one of the reasons why I had Sanjay Gupta on, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, who I respect very much, and I really enjoyed our conversation together. He has a different opinion than those men do. I had Dr. Michael Osterholm on at the very beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah, I remember Osterholm. That was one of the things that actually alerted me to the seriousness of the disease when nobody else in Europe actually thought that this disease would be bad.
He is on President Biden's COVID-19 advisory board.
Yeah, like Osterholm warned everybody that this is going to spread through air, and nobody listened. It took 1 fucking year for everybody else to listen. In the meanwhile, me and my wife bought masks because we knew this was spreading through air, because it was talked about in Joe Rogan's podcast in February 2020 by the man who has actually studied like crazy cow disease, mad cow disease and SARS and MERS and other like big viruses. And they had already done like studies that it was spreading through air.
I had Dr. Peter Hotez on, who is a vaccine expert. I'm interested in finding out what is correct, and I'm also finding out how people come to these conclusions and what the facts are. Now, because of this controversy, and I'm sure there's a lot of other things going on behind the scenes with these controversies, but Neil Young has removed his music from the platform of Spotify, and Joni Mitchell and apparently some other people want to as well. I'm very sorry that they feel that way. I most certainly don't want that. I'm a Neil Young fan. I've always been a Neil Young fan. I'll tell you a story at the end of this about that. One of the things that Spotify wants to do that I agree with is that at the beginning of these controversial podcasts, like specifically ones about COVID, is to put a disclaimer and say that you should speak with your physician, and that these people and the opinions that they express are contrary to the opinions of the consensus of experts, which I think is very important. Sure, have that on there. I'm very happy with that. Also, I think
that was easy.
If there's anything that I've done that I could do better is have more experts with differing opinions right after I have the controversial ones. I would most certainly be open to doing that. And I would like to talk to some people that have differing opinions on those podcasts in the future. We'll see. I do all the scheduling myself, and I don't always get it right. These podcasts are very strange because they're just conversations. And oftentimes I have no idea what I'm going to talk about until I sit down and talk to people. And that's why some of my ideas are not that prepared or fleshed out, because I'm literally having them in real time. But I do.
Well, that's the reason why, for example, his talk with Neil deGrasse Tyson, Edward Snowden, Mike Tyson, Ted Nugent, for example, they have been really fucking good. I've enjoyed them because they don't have a script. When you watch talk shows and like mainstream media, like talk shows like Stephen Colbert or Trevor Noah or something, they are always scripted heavily. So I don't enjoy watching those, but I enjoy watching free flowing talk. And that's the reason why I used to watch Joe Rogan. I haven't watched Joe Rogan that much throughout the COVID because of his like swerving opinions and takes on COVID. But I'm pretty sure when COVID ends, I'm gonna go back to watch Joe Rogan because I like the free-flowing conversation.
Do my best, and they're just conversations, and I think that's also the appeal of the show. It's one of the things that makes it interesting.
Yeah. Actually, 100%.
So I want to thank Spotify for being so supportive during this time, and I'm very sorry that this
they invested 200 million,
so they're taking so much heat from it.
they actually.
And so now the Neil Young story. When I first of all, I'm not mad at Neil Young. I'm a huge Neil Young fan. I've always been a Neil Young fan. I don't know what else I can do differently, other than maybe try harder to get people with differing opinions on right afterwards. I do think that that's important, and do my best to make sure that I've researched these topics, the controversial ones in particular, and have all the pertinent facts at hand before I discuss them. Again, I'm not trying to promote misinformation. I'm not trying to be controversial. I've never tried to do anything with this podcast other than just talk to people and have interesting conversations. I didn't plan it. I can't believe it's as successful as it is. It was never really an idea that I had. The podcast started off as just fucking around with my friends and having fun and talking. And then when it became popular, other people wanted to come on, and I was like, oh, it'd be cool to talk to that person. Oh, he's interesting. Oh, she's got a cool book out. And then, boom, it's become what it is today, which is like some out of control juggernaut that I barely have control of. So my pledge to you is that I will do my best to try to balance out these more controversial viewpoints with other people's perspectives so we can maybe find a better point of view. I don't want to just show the contrary opinion to what the narrative is. I want to show all kinds of opinions so that we can all figure out what's going on, and not just about COVID, about everything, about health, about fitness, wellness, the state of the world itself. It's a strange responsibility to have this many viewers and listeners. It's very strange, and it's nothing that I prepared for, and it's nothing that I ever anticipated. I am going to do my best in the future to balance things out. I'm going to do my best. But my point of doing this is always just to create interesting conversations and ones that I hope people enjoy. So if I pissed you off, I'm sorry. And if you enjoy the podcast, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you to Spotify. Thank you all the supporters, and even thank you to the haters, because it's good to have some haters. It makes you reassess what you're doing and put things into perspective, and I think that's good too. All right. Much love to you all. Thank you to everyone. And I'm going to do my best.
What do we take from that? That was one of the best response videos I've ever seen. He addressed everything he was criticized about. Basically, he just said that he's human. Will I start watching Joe Rogan still, like, from this day forward? Probably not. As I stated before, I watch Joe Rogan when the guests are interesting for me, and they haven't been for a while. But yeah, I don't think like he's inherently a bad person. People are just, they need a villain. They need somebody to hate. And Joe Rogan is really easy to hate because he talks to people who you shouldn't be allowed to talk to, like Jordan Peterson, like Alex Jones. Don't get me wrong, Alex Jones is a fucking lunatic, but he's fucking entertaining. But yeah, what do you think about it? Let me know down in the comments. What do you think about this? Did you cancel Spotify? And are you gonna take it back now that Joe Rogan has its response? Thanks for watching the video. See you guys on the next one.